Alright, so first of all, the first part on your worksheet is just to learn how to use the timer as a stopwatch, and I just showed you that. So just make sure you understand how to do that, and then do part 2 where you arrange the times from smallest to largest. And then we'll look at part 3 using photo gates. So the photo gates are in the timer box. They are these little black things. And you do need to unscrew these all the way. They have to be all the way screwed in to be able to pack into the box, but we need them all the way unscrewed. So the track that we're going to use with the car, it's going to lay flat in the photo gate right here. So we are going to use the screw to tighten it into place. But the photo gates themselves, they emit infrared light through these little slits in the side. And so when you cover that up, the photo gate keeps track of how long that light was covered up. So this will help us, like when we send a car through it, the car will block the infrared light and the photo gate will keep track of how long the car was in front of it. So in your kit, you should have 2 phone cord looking things. So we will plug those into our timer and just make sure you plug them in really well, like all the way in there. Otherwise they won't pick up data. And just as a side note, don't plug in a real phone because they have too intense of data and it will kill our timer. So we plug in one end into the timer. It doesn't matter which color is which. And then just plug in the photo gates on the other ends. Alright. So now you should be able to push the A button and see a green light above it. And so that's going to correspond with the first of our photo gates. And you can run your finger through the photo gate and those numbers that pop up are telling you how many seconds your finger was in the way of that light. So you can like hold your finger in front of it and then move it and it'll be a long time. Like you could hold it in front for like 10 seconds and it'll go up to 10. But we don't need to do that. And then you can do the same thing with B. You just have to switch the input from A to B so that B is lit up and A is not. You can test it again. And then if we put A and B on so they're both lit up, then we can line up the photo gates. This is what we're going to do today. So you can run your hand through both, and that time that shows up is the time from photo gate A to photo gate B. But you can also, if you just turn on A, only the A light is on, it tells you how long it was just in front of this light. Then if you turn that off and turn on the B light, it tells you just how long it was in front of the B light, in front of the B photo gate. So we're going to use those with our race car to measure speed. Alright, so now take out all the pieces to your car kit. We're going to set up the ramp. We want it to be flat. So there's options that hook it more like a hill, and we don't want that for today. That makes like a V, we don't want that. So, looks like these two. So you want to make it flat. And just tip it upside down on the desk, and you can see there's 2 holes in the middle. And in your kit you should have these little blue knob screw things, and you can screw those into the holes on the track and hold it into place. Otherwise the track will fall down. Oh, and just while I'm doing this, make sure that on your worksheet you fill out the part about how a photo gate works. It's part 4, and part 5, and part 6. So that's all just brainstorming. And now we will get to, I guess we're on part 7 right now. So, alright. So now we need these 2 stands. And we want to mostly unscrew this middle screw. The 2 outside ones look more permanent, so we're just going to leave those alone, but the middle one you want to mostly unscrew all the way. No, just go ahead and unscrew it all the way. Same thing, it needs to be screwed in to be able to be packed into the box. Alright, so now just slide this under the track, and then you want to tighten the blue knob to be able to hold the track in place. And make sure that that middle screw is facing the long end of the track. Or no, I'm sorry, I put it on backwards. We want the two more permanent outside ones to be facing the track. There we go. Alright, so now do the same thing with the other one. This time I'll do it right. So slide it on so that the two more permanent outside screws are facing the other end of the track. And tighten that blue knob so it's in place. And, alright, so, and then I'll just unscrew this middle screw so it's out of the way. Okay, now you have a little bag of things in your kit. We need a rubber band, and there's a little bag of clay. So this clay, we're going to roll it into a ball and put it on top of that silver circle that was the middle screw. Just, it's going to block our car from flat out running into the stand. So it'll hit the clay instead. And then the rubber band over on the other end, on those permanent looking screws, there's a nut and a bolt. And the nut is black and then the bolt is more towards the outside of the track. So you want to twist your rubber band so it's in an X, and then you hook each side in between the nut and the bolt on both screws so that you have an X across the track. Okay, and then just tighten those screws so that the rubber band will stay in place. So now the middle screw over here, we want to have about 2 or 3 centimeters in between the rubber band and that metal circle from the end of the screw. So we don't want the screw all the way undone, but we want a little bit of give so that we can pull the rubber band back and launch the car. So 2 or 3 centimeters. So now we're going to put photo gate A. Oh wait, we need our car. So you've got 2 cars and 1 sled. So the sled doesn't have wheels, so we don't want that. But we'll take a car and put it on the track. So just set that right in front of the rubber band. Alright, and then we want the photo gate to go on one of these black circles that's along the edge of our track. We're going to put it on the very first one after the edge of the car. And make sure it's photo gate A. Alright, so now you're going to practice launching the car. Just pull it back a little bit and launch it. And you're going to look at your time where only A is turned on your timer. And you want to do this a few times until you get seconds that are within 0.001 of each other, just to get a feel for it. Oops. And I tend to launch my car straight off of the track itself. So, alright, so just test that out a little bit. And now we're going to, I'm going to move this photo gate out one more circle away from the car. But then we do need to put the other photo gate on. And it doesn't matter where it is, just there's a picture in your instructions and just try and make it look similar to the picture. So not too close to the edge, but closer to this end. Alright, so now we want to make this car have the same speed through this photo gate and this photo gate. So we know that with like friction, it'll slow down as it gets closer over here. But we want to make it have the same speed. So you need to practice launching it. And then there's these little black knobby things on the stands, and you can adjust them to be different heights, so you can figure out how to make this car have a constant speed through this photo gate and this photo gate. So to do that, we need to think about how we'll do that. So speed is distance over time, and so on your car, this little flag that's sticking out, they call it a flag, it's the tallest part of the car. It's exactly 1 centimeter wide, and that's the part that blocks the photo gate light. So the photo gate records how long that flag is in the way. So your car is going 1 centimeter in the amount of time that your timer says it was in front of that photo gate. So we want to convert all our units into meters and seconds because we're going to stick with meters per second. That's just standard units. So you got to convert that centimeter into meters. But we'll use meters per second and calculate the speed through this photo gate and this photo gate using the times from your timer.